Coconut oil has long stirred controversy in the world of nutrition. For decades, it was almost universally categorized as unhealthy due to its unusually high saturated fat content. Around 90% of its fat is saturated, which is significantly higher than that of butter or lard. Conventional dietary wisdom, shaped largely by mid-20th century research, held that saturated fat raised LDL cholesterol and thus increased the risk of heart disease. As a result, coconut oil was shunned from mainstream health advice, relegated to occasional tropical recipes, or used externally in skin and hair care. But over the past 2 decades, as researchers have begun to differentiate among types of saturated fats and reconsider the blanket vilification of dietary fat, coconut oil has undergone a partial redemption. When used in moderation and within the context of a balanced diet, it appears that coconut oil may offer specific health benefits, particularly in how it influences cholesterol balance and metabolic function. One of the most compelling findings surrounding coconut oil is its effect on HDL cholesterol, the so-called good cholesterol that helps remove LDL cholesterol from the bloodstream and transport it back to the liver for excretion. Multiple studies have found that coconut oil consumption, particularly virgin or unrefined coconut oil, tends to raise HDL levels significantly. This effect may help improve the overall cholesterol ratio, which some researchers argue is a better predictor of heart disease risk than LDL levels alone. In some cases, coconut oil has been shown to raise LDL cholesterol as well, but the impact on HDL is often greater, leading to a more favorable total cholesterol profile for many individuals. This dual effect is still being studied, but it highlights that the relationship between saturated fat and cardiovascular risk is more nuanced than previously thought. Part of the reason coconut oil behaves differently from other saturated fats may lie in its unique composition. Unlike the long-chain saturated fats found in animal products, coconut oil contains a high proportion of medium-chain triglycerides, MCTs, particularly lauric acid. MCTs are metabolized differently from other fats. They are rapidly absorbed by the liver and used as a quick source of energy rather than stored as body fat. This gives coconut oil a slightly thermogenic effect, potentially increasing energy expenditure and supporting weight management when included as part of a calorie-balanced diet. Some research has suggested that diets including MCTs, even when high in saturated fat, can lead to modest reductions in abdominal fat and improvements in insulin sensitivity, especially when paired with low-carbohydrate eating patterns. Coconut oil also possesses antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties, largely due to its lauric acid content. Lauric acid has been shown to have antimicrobial effects against harmful bacteria, viruses, and fungi, which has fueled interest in coconut oil's potential for gut health and immune support. Though more human studies are needed to confirm these effects in clinical settings, early evidence points to potential benefits, especially when coconut oil is used as part of an unprocessed, whole food-based diet. Importantly, it's worth distinguishing between virgin, unrefined coconut oil and refined coconut oil. Virgin coconut oil is extracted from fresh coconut meat without the use of high heat or harsh chemicals, preserving more of its natural antioxidants and beneficial plant compounds. Refined coconut oil, on the other hand, is made from dried coconut meat and is often bleached and deodorized, which can reduce its nutritional value. For those seeking health benefits, virgin coconut oil is typically the preferred option. Despite these promising findings, moderation is still essential. Coconut oil is calorie-dense, offering about 120 calories per tablespoon, and should not be consumed in large quantities. It should also not replace all other healthy fats in the diet. Olive oil, avocados, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish provide a broader spectrum of monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, which are still considered the most protective for long-term cardiovascular health. But within a diverse, balanced diet, incorporating small amounts of coconut oil, especially as a replacement for trans fats or heavily refined seed oils, may be beneficial for some individuals. Perhaps one of the most striking lessons from the reassessment of coconut oil is the importance of food context. No single nutrient should be judged in isolation, and not all saturated fats have the same metabolic effects. Moreover, populations that have traditionally consumed high amounts of coconut products, such as certain Pacific Island cultures, have historically shown low rates of cardiovascular disease, though it's important to note that their diets were also free of processed foods and high in whole, unrefined ingredients. These observations remind us that dietary patterns, lifestyle, and overall nutrient quality matter far more than demonizing individual ingredients. In sum, while coconut oil is not a magic health elixir, Neither is it the dietary villain it was once made out to be. When consumed in moderation and as part of a nutrient-rich diet, virgin coconut oil can offer functional benefits, especially in terms of supporting HDL cholesterol, metabolic energy, and potentially immune resilience. Its story is yet another example of how nutritional science continues to evolve, moving away from rigid, fear-based rules and toward a more informed, individualized, and balanced approach to healthy eating.